Huddle up, team. In today's video, we're talking about how you can create a winning game plan to get and stay financially independent as a multimillionaire.
That's right.
Here's a taste of what's up and coming, and Coach will walk us through and explain the elements of the game plan and what offense, defense, and special teams look like. So, Coach, what exactly is financial independence, and do I need a game plan?
You do need a game plan, and I'll get to that. But yes, financial independence, there is a lot inside that term. And in simple terms, though, I think it's three things. I think it's freedom, I think it's options, and it's the ability to control your time. All right? So you achieve financial independence. This is important. You achieve financial independence when your cash flow, when your income exceeds your desired standard of living without having to go to work every day for a paycheck. So if you're not working, I consider that active income, okay? So if you're not actively working, going to a job to get a paycheck, where's your money coming from? Well, it's coming from the two other sources of income. It's either coming from portfolio income, which is typically, you would understand that to be like your portfolio assets, your investable assets, your stocks, bonds, cash, your 401ks, that kind of stuff. So it's either all coming from there, or it's coming from recurring income, which is really from businesses, a business that you own. And hopefully you've positioned yourself to the point where you don't have to be there every day actively running and operating and managing that business. You've got people doing that for you. So again, it's recurring income, or what people will call passive income, because you're not there every day actively having to work in the business, okay? So financial freedom, when your cash flow, when your income that you need to maintain the standard of living that you want comes from not a job, not active income. Instead, it comes from portfolio income and recurring income, or passive income. Now, I love this. Financial independence. Think about this too. Financial independence is when you have the ability to do what you want, when you want, where you want, with whom you want. I'd want to do it with you for as long as you want.
That's right.
And you don't have to worry about it, right? What you want, where you want, with whom you want, for as long as you want, and you don't have to worry about it. Man, think about that. That's financial independence, okay? Now, the other thing I want to mention about this is this may seem a little bit harsh, but before financial independence, or without financial independence, you're really a slave to your job, right? It's like modern day slavery, because you can't function without that paycheck. You have to show up to work. You have to be there to get your paycheck to exist, to live. It's a slave wage, right? Or wage slavery, because you don't exist without that paycheck. You are absolutely dependent on that paycheck. So you become financially independent by buying your freedom. Think about it like financial emancipation, right? You purchase your freedom by investing money into portfolio income, and over time building your portfolio income up, or you purchase your freedom by buying or building recurring income through a business. But you're going to have to buy your freedom. You're going to have to purchase your financial independence. And the question is, how bad do you want it?
Yeah.
Right? How bad do you want your freedom? And how long are you willing to wait to get it? The thing about financial independence is our society's totally got us programmed to think you got to wait till you're 65.
Right.
Or maybe you be a lucky, fortunate, very few that can retire early, like Freedom 55 or something like that. You can be done early, but those are so few and far between. Okay, but how long are you willing to wait to get there? It doesn't have to be age 65. This is the beauty of where we live in America and our economy, is you can decide, right? You are the architect and the designer and the engineer and the creator of this life you get. So take control of it. You decide. You don't have to wait until age 65. So that's really what I want to get here is you can decide. There's people retiring in their 30s.
Yeah.
right? I mean, crazy. But they stepped outside of the normal paradigm and they started really early because they had a plan. That's why you need a plan, right? So that you can beat the system.
Right.
But speaking of the system, for the most part, your opposition is going to be society. Your opposition, you're going to have to fight against society because it's been built around consumerism.
That's right.
It's been built around spending everything you've got and some so that you go into debt, which makes you an even more of a slave to the system, right? The debtor is slave to the lender. You may have heard that one before. So our society, the whole system is geared for you to be a slave. And we gotta change that, right? You're gonna have to resist the culture, resist society, and not consume everything, not go into high interest rate consumer debt. You're gonna have to be different. And for some people, that's uncomfortable. But if you're different and you have a plan, then you can be one of the few that become financially independent and live your best life. And you don't have to wait. You can do that quickly.
Yes.
Okay. So now, why do you need a plan? Well, you need a plan because the odds are stacked against you. For real, like literally, the odds are stacked against you. Understand that today, at age 65, most people are retiring financially dependent. Okay, they're dependent on their Social Security check. They're dependent on their 401k balance, which could poof be cut in half in the next stock market crash if you haven't done the right thing with risk management and protecting your money and diversification and all those other principles. And that happens to people a lot all the time. So the odds are stacked against you. But failing to plan, and I know you've heard this, I'm going to say it again. Failing to plan is planning to fail. And I know, like, if anybody asks you, you're going, I'm not planning to fail. Are you kidding? I'm going to rock this. I'm going to crush it. I'm going to. Well, the odds are stacked against you. There was a statistic, I think it was the LBS, the BLS, Bureau of Labor Statistics, in the early 2000s that said 96% of people retired at age 65 with less than $50,000 a year in income. And it's not gotten, better, right? So 96% under 50 grand, you can't retire on that. That's not financial independence. That's not what you're doing this for, right? That's not what we're doing this for. So if you don't have a plan, you're planning to fail. So stop that. Seriously, stop it. Get a plan, right? Now, so that's our opposition part to the plan as well. That's why you got to have a plan. You have an opposition, so you're going to need a plan to overcome the opposition, okay? And I'll recognize this too, and I know you know this. This is just to remind and encourage you, but nothing great has ever been built without a plan. Think about a house, a fabulous home, a custom-built home. Nothing starts without a plan. You need to submit plans to get a permit to start digging, right? If you want to build something great, if you want to build a great life, if you want to build financial independence, you're going to have a plan to get started. And the plan, of course, is going to change over time, but that's okay. You benefit from the process of thinking and working on developing a plan to begin with.
Right.
Okay? So that's why you need to have a plan. Okay?
For sure. So, all right, Coach, what does a financial game plan look like?
All right.
And how do we create a winning one?
What does a financial game plan look like, and how do we create a winning one? All right. First, I want you to understand the most important part to a plan is to realize that the plan is planning on your plan, not going according to plan.
Right.
Okay, let me do that again. The most important part of your plan is to plan on your plan, not going according to plan.
Murphy will show up.
Yeah, like stuff is going to happen, okay? And this is reminding me, that famous Mike Tyson quote, like everyone has a plan until you get punched in the mouth, right? Same thing with your financial life. I mean, stuff is going to happen. and unexpectedly. And case in point, right? Just what's today? Saturday, 2 days ago, our beloved Cadillac
It broke.
it broke.
It broke.
The engine broke. It died. We were driving home after dinner.
Bells and whistles went off, everything.
Crazy. It's dead. Like, it's got to have a new engine.
I know.
Like, we were not planning on that. So that kind of stuff is going to happen, right? Hopefully not to you, but it's going to happen. It happened to us. So you gotta understand that you're playing on your plan, not going according to plan. So that means you got to build the plan with flexibility, right? So that goes to my second point.
Very important.
You got to create a plan that's flexible to allow for you being adaptable, to adapt to situations that are going to come your way. Obstacles, challenges, opportunities, you got to be able to adapt. So your plan's got to be flexible. Your plan's got to emphasize on how you're going to increase your income and increase your savings rate, because that builds margin into your plan so that you can take on more opportunities or adversities. You can handle them easier. So you got to build that into your plan. And third, you got to understand that this is a team sport. Money is a team sport. So I'm gonna show you this really quick. Here we go. You win the money game with teamwork. You got to have offense, which is cash flow and acquiring assets. You got to have defense, which is risk management and debt management. And you got to have special teams, which I call my A team, which are agents, advisors, accountants, attorneys, and your bankers. Okay. So yeah, you got to have offense, defense, and special teams. This is a team sport. Now recognize you are the MVP, right? You're the most valuable player on this team, and you're going to perform way better with the financial coach. But then we are doing this together with other people because you can't know everything and do everything. Right. So it is a team effort. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go and take a look at the money game plan. And I'm calling this, I'm going to call this, our basic nest egg accumulation plan. You've probably heard this before, but the idea is that you build a nest egg. You scrimp and save and accumulate and put money away into your portfolio, into your traditional, into your 401k plan, and you over time accumulate it. So let's take a look at this. So there's three major parts. You'll see in the top left, we've got asset accumulation phase. Those are your working years. That's, from the time you're working, making money, let's say 25, to all the way up to the nest egg, retirement red zone. You see the little nest egg on the top there? Whatever date that is, that's right, there we have a nest egg. Whatever date that is, that ends your accumulation phase, okay? And then you're in this transition. You switch. Yes. In the retirement red zone, you're going to be switching from active income. You see in the bottom left, we're an active income. That's you have a job and you get a paycheck and you make money. And what you have to do is get paid, save, and then spend what's left over, which is different than how most of you are doing it, because you get paid, you spend everything, and then you save if there is anything left over. So we're going to do it different. But in the active income years, when you're 25, you don't have any money. You don't have any assets, but you've got maybe debt, student loans, car loans, consumer loans, credit cards, whatever. And your goal is to be paying off debt while you're accumulating assets. You get to the nest egg. That's our second phase. The third phase is decumulation, asset decumulation. And that's when you live on the money that you've already accumulated and you're spending it. Right. So the balances are going down as you spend it. And of course, that's a whole tricky, balancing act there, because the number one fear of seniors is living longer than their money lasts, right? You don't want to run out of money and still be around going, now what do I do, right? So
they are living longer. That's true.
They are. And that's a big reason why conventional financial planning and wisdom doesn't work, is because there's so many variables that have changed from 1980, when a lot of people started doing this thing and started trying to figure this out. It's a completely different world. So the old, financial planning stuff doesn't work. And that's why everybody's retiring broke. Well, one reason.
Yeah.
There's other ones.
Mm-hmm.
But so we got those three phases, okay? Asset accumulation, the nest egg, the transition, that red zone of retirement, and then we've got the asset decumulation. In the early part of your life, you see that thing where it says cash flow insurance?
Mm.
Your greatest asset is not a thing. Your greatest asset is not a car, your 401k account, or your home. Your number one greatest asset is your ability to earn money, right? It's your ability to earn an income. And so what do we do with assets? What do we do with our home or our jewelry or our art or our cars? The things that have value that are, we insure them for what? For replacement cost, okay? If you look at your homeowner's insurance policy, you're insuring it for the value to replace it if it gets burnt to the ground. So think about that. So what is insuring your income if it gets burnt to the ground? Especially if there's more people dependent on it, right? What if, you have a wife or you're going to have a wife, or you have kids or you want to have kids? I mean, you're going to have to insure that income. And that's where we look at this concept of called human life value. Now, I know you can't really put a value on human life, but we're going to try, okay? And the idea here with the human life value concept is that you want to get the cash flow insurance. You want to get as much insurance as you can, as soon as you can, because stuff happens. And if you wait next year, you might get sick and you can't get it anymore. You become uninsurable. And that's a scary term when you want to get insurance to protect your cash flow and you can't. Right? Don't do that. Don't wait. Do it now. When you're younger and healthier is the best time, because that's when the rates are cheapest. Okay? So human life value. Let's say you make $100,000 a year and you've got your whole working career ahead of you, 40 years. Well, what's 100,000 times 40? It's 4 million. So your human life is $4 million. So a good idea would be to go find you a $4 million cash flow insurance policy or life insurance policy that will protect your cash flow. And the new ones, okay, stop the thinking about life insurance, which is traditionally just known as death insurance, which means it only pays out when you die. So there's no benefit to you. No. That's not how it works anymore, at least not with the good ones. The new kind of insurance, the good ones have living benefits. So those insurance benefit amounts can benefit you while you're alive if you become critically injured or critically ill or have a terminal illness, a chronic illness, terminal illness. Any of those things, you can access that insurance benefit to replace your lost income because you're sick or trying to recover and you can't work. So you got to meet with an insurance professional that knows what the heck they're talking about and can help you with the new style, okay? The advanced insurance with the living benefits. But that human life value, let's say $4 million, get it as soon as you can when it's the least expensive, and get it for as long as you can that you can afford it for as long as possible, okay? And typically when you're young, that's going to be some kind of term insurance. But you're maxed out at about 30 years on a term policy, okay? So let's say you're 30 and you get a 30-year term policy and you're getting that out to the red zone. And during the next 30 years of your work career, you're going to work, you're going to pay off debt, you're going to accumulate money to save, you're building up this nest egg, and you get to age 60 and now your term insurance policy expires. So now you have no more cash flow insurance. So now you're vulnerable, right? No options and you're vulnerable. And you just had a heart attack at 59. So now you can't purchase any more cash flow insurance. You're vulnerable because cash flow insurance switches at retirement, right, with your nest egg. And now it becomes nest egg insurance. Okay? Think about this concept that you become self-insured once you pay off all your debt and you've accumulated your 401k account. I think that's stupid, frankly. Is that bad? I think that idea is crazy because you insure the things that have value and are impossible or too expensive to replace. Same concept. Let's assume you pay off your home. So you got a $500,000 house. You pay that thing off. You're mortgage free and clear. It's still worth $500,000, right? So if it burns to the ground, how are you going to rebuild it? You're going to have to take from your 401k or other assets, okay, and rebuild that house. So you just lost out on the $500,000. Well, nobody does that. Everybody keeps home insurance on their home because the cost of the insurance premium is so insignificant and small compared to the price of that potential risk, okay, that they keep home insurance. Well, I think you need to keep life insurance. I think the cost is so small and insignificant compared to the big benefits that you should keep that or keep some, and it now will serve as nest egg protection. And you're protecting and insuring your nest egg from a stock market crash, from you or your spouse having to go into a nursing home and totally depleting all of your assets. Guys, you can't get that later in life. So what you want to do is get your nest egg insurance in place as early as possible. Okay. When you're real young, it doesn't make any sense, but you should do that before you're 50, right? You should definitely do that before you're 50. And because it'll take care of ensuring your income from your assets. It'll take care of paying the nursing home if you can't do 2 of the 6 activities of daily living. Like all of those living benefits come into play there. So the new kind of insurance handles both sides of that equation, the asset accumulation, and which is the cash flow insurance, and on the other side, which is the nest egg insurance. Okay. But so active income when you're young. Okay. We're going to build this up. Now your job is to figure out how to add income sources, because if you have one job, that is way too close to zero.
Right.
And what happens to jobs sometimes? You lose them, right? You can get let go. You can get laid off. The company can go broke.
Right.
Stuff happens, right? You could hate your manager and decide you want to do something else. I mean, there's a whole bunch of reasons active income can go away. Okay. Then, you're going to be building that up and you're going to do a nest egg. Now, here's what's really critically important about this. You can't survive on a nest egg, right? You've got to convert your nest egg at some point into cash flow, right? So what does that look like? So we got our nest egg here, okay? So now we're, whatever your retirement age is, or forget retirement, I hate that word. Whatever your financial independence number or your financial independence age is, let's say it's 55. You want to be done early. You want to be 55. How are you going to, you got to convert this nest egg into cash flow, right? Every month you need a check because you got lifestyle bills to pay for, right? So this is a massive, monumental mental shift and a financial shift. And it's important to understand that what gets you to financial independence, what gets you that nest egg built up, won't keep you through retirement. It's a completely different mindset. It's a mind shift. Okay. You go from concentrating and assuming, some risk, right? We want to concentrate. The dichotomy is crazy, right? If you know Andrew Carnegie, the industrialist, one of the wealthiest men in the world back in the day with his steel business, his advice is put all your eggs in one basket, then watch the basket. That's how you become wealthy. Right. Well, everybody says, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Right.
Right.
So which one do you do? Actually, you do both. Right. It just depends on what stage of the game you're in. OK, when you're early in the game, you put all your eggs in one basket. Like you want to concentrate and keep your eyes on it because you can get better growth rates. OK, but then once you've built the nest egg, once you've accumulated the wealth, now you got to change gears. Now you got to be in wealth preservation mode. And now that's when you're going to diversify. Okay. Now that's when you don't concentrate. All right. You dilute it. You diversify. You spread it around to protect the money. Okay. But if you are looking to convert your nest egg into cash flow, Wall Street is going to tell you that you're going to follow the 4% rule. Okay. And with a 4% rule, that says that if you pull out 4% of the balance of your account every year through retirement you are most likely to never run out of money. Okay? Not guaranteed, but I think it was with the Monte Carlo simulations, it was like 95% assurance that you're not going to run out of money. That sucks, people. That plan is awful, okay? If you want $100,000 a year in annual income, divide that by 4%, your answer is how much money you've got to have in your nest egg. 100,000 divided by 4% is $2.5 million. That is beyond the comprehension of most people to accumulate that much money. So the 4% rule is not going to work. Well, there's other alternatives. There's other options where you can get guaranteed lifetime income by transferring that risk to an insurance company. Insurance companies are the best at managing risk, right? That's their business. That's what they do. You can transfer your nest egg risk to an insurance company and in exchange receive guaranteed income for life that you'll never outlive. And it'll pay 6 to 8% or more depending on how you structure it and what age you are to get started. That's amazing. And then every month you get a paycheck, guaranteed. It's like your own personal pension. Everybody loves pensions, right? You can set up your own personal pension, but your, stock advisor is not going to really tell you about that.
Right.
And then you need to understand that too. Like people are kind of in their lane and they don't go outside of it. So people, your stockbrokers are selling stocks, bonds, and cash and mutual funds or ETFs maybe, but that's what they do. And they're not going to be telling you about other things outside of what they can do. Actually, they're often prevented. It's illegal for them to do that because they don't have the license or their company that they represent has specifically said, you don't talk about that stuff. So it's another reason why you can work with a good coach, because you can have a more holistic view of the whole thing and not be limited or restricted by what some broker somewhere is going to be, only able to sell you. Okay. But so the nest egg conversion thing is a big deal. And then we go into asset decumulation, make sure you got your nest egg insurance and set up that monthly income so that you can keep going. And you've got options out there. Do you want your nest egg insurance to go down over time, to stay the same, or go up? I mean, you got to build a plan with options. Okay. That's the important thing. So where do we go from here?
Yeah, we do not want you to feel like you are alone, to do this on your own, that we are your coaches, to be able to contact us.
Yeah, we're here to help for sure. And for sticking around to the end of the video, we have a surprise for you, a bonus.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Check out the description box below. We want to help you out, and I've got a free retirement planning tool. But I don't like the word retirement. So let's just, I know it says retirement. Let's call it a financial independence tool, okay? A free tool that you can enter your personal specific information. It's protected and only we will see it, okay? But you can get a handle on, are you on track for your financial independence? And then we can talk about how you can make some changes and adjustments and improve it to help you reach your goal faster and with less money and totally radically change your life.
All right. To build your own plan, no cookie cutter. No, this is you specific.
We are not into we are not into one size fits all financial advice, because that does not work. That's crap. Okay. This is very highly personal. And so we've got to make it personal and specific.
Right. And you can change your life.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, honey. Guys.
For sure.
Let us encourage you with that. You can totally change your life. We know because we have and we continue to, and you can too. Do not accept the status quo. You get one shot at this.
That's right.
One shot at this life. Go make it your best life ever. Okay? Seriously. And we're here to help. But we do want to encourage you. Subscribe to our channel if you have not already. Give us a like, a little thumbs up on this video. Share it with people that could benefit from this information. And we'd love to hear from you. So drop us a comment below.
That'd be awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
Anything else?
That's good.
Anything else? You need seriously, you need to create a financial game plan so that you can win your money game. Don't leave this undone. I hope today you learned that there's a lot going into this, and there's a lot you don't know, and a lot your financial advisors don't know. So reach out to us. Let us help you put together a financial game plan that'll help you achieve your goals and live your best life ever.
That's right.
All right. So that's it for now. We will see you next week on another video.